What's the best unlimited smartphone plan for the iPhone, an Android device, tablets, and more? I have your answer, and it might surprise you. Do they really need to nickel and dime you that much? Hello, I'm the YouTube deal guy, Matt Granite from mattsdailydeals.com. I typically find the biggest deals anywhere, but it's very important for me to help you save on all the other disciplines and departments of your life. Now, this is not a sponsored video. No company is paying me to say anything positive about them, which is why I'm going to slam a few companies, but also highlight a smaller carrier that you might not have heard of with some larger potential. For an unlimited plan these days, and this is a US video, even though I am Canadian and I'll handle other carriers in different countries at another point. For an unlimited plan for your new iPhone or your Android device or whatever device it is you want to hook up, we generally depend on AT&T, Sprint, Verizon, or T-Mobile. Those are the big carriers, and I know there's smaller options through Walmart and so on, but I'm looking at dependability today. So some of these tiny carriers, I'm not going to include them. Some of the carriers with no coverage anywhere, I'm not going to include them. And we're looking at a price of $50, $60, $70, or $80 for unlimited coverage per month. And then on top of it, there's perks that you might need to know, which you might not know exist, and they're all new. So let me break this down for you. First things first, a reminder, I do have some huge upcoming deals that I am so excited to share with you on mattsdailydeals.com. If you're not yet on my email list or you're not subscribed to this channel, please feel free to join. I love sharing savings in addition to what you are going to see right now. So let's look at the unlimited basic plan from Sprint. We're going to talk about coverage in a moment. Sprint has updated its plans. They're giving you additional benefits of Hulu on their unlimited basic plan. I like that Sprint is now finally catching up to carriers like T-Mobile. And for $60, you're going to do well with them. For their basic plan, you are going to get some unlimited benefits. But their basic plan does not include any roaming or any data benefits if you visit another country, which is what's going to bring us to T-Mobile for a moment. Now, T-Mobile's Magenta plan is great. I'm a huge fan and subscriber of T-Mobile, but they are no longer the cheapest. Let's look at the Magenta plan for a second, and they are going to throw in all sorts of benefits for you. And as T-Mobile points out, and it's interesting they're not comparing themselves to Sprint because that merger could happen, they give you a point of prioritization up to 50 gigs. Verizon will slow you down at 22. AT&T will as well. You also have all of their taxes and fees included in the price. That's something that Verizon and AT&T will not show you. So that is, again, additional savings. And they give you unlimited texting and data abroad. Now, I travel a lot. I have a sister in London, England. This is really important to me. Sprint does not provide that unless you go up in $10 per month. So with that being said, let's continue along to Verizon. Now, Verizon has the most coverage as a whole in the US, and we're going to talk about which carrier actually has the most coverage. And their $70 unlimited plan gives you many of the features that you just saw. And Verizon does add all of those roaming options abroad, but they add taxes and fees on top of this. So you see taxes and fees added right here. That takes the $70 per month and then amplifies it to almost $90 per month once everything is added to your bill. So again, those initial numbers that you see on a quick web search is not always what you get. Now, I will praise T-Mobile for one more moment. They were one of the first carriers to obliterate contracts. They add Netflix streaming into many of their plans, and they also, for me as a Canadian, got rid of roaming abroad if you are using your phone in Canada or Mexico. They were very aggressive, and they also were very vocal against all of the carriers. But they're still not the lowest. The lowest price right now is Metro. Now, this is a subsidy of T-Mobile. They use the T-Mobile network, and they're throwing in things like Amazon Prime, which is a really great add-on. For their plans, they are also starting you off at a $50 unlimited plan. So $20 less than if you go through T-Mobile. And they also have 5G benefits, which are going to be live December 6th or already live, depending on when you watch this. They are very aggressive. You can get 2 phone lines for $90 plus a tablet line for $10 with all of this unlimited data plus Prime. So if you actually look at what your needs are, you may find that Metro is the best for you, and their $60 unlimited high-speed plan, which is still cheaper than the competition, does throw in the benefits of Prime. And if you add that in and then put that up against taxes and fees and the Google One 100 gigs of storage and the hotspot data, they may actually come out on top for you. I'm just throwing this in as an option as we compare all of the carriers. And one of my other favorite websites, Whistle Out, in terms of their cell phone coverage, did a very good job of breaking down which carrier is dominant. And it used to be AT&T, but you'll notice that 70% of the 4G coverage in the US is Verizon. So if you have to go with Verizon, if you live in a rural community, you might not have a choice. T-Mobile is now at 59%. That means they are ahead of AT&T for one of the first times I've seen in a while on a coverage map, and then Sprint under that. Now, Sprint and T-Mobile merge, they will be dominant in terms of coverage. With the 5G and a full breakdown of what you might need to know tied to that, I will have that information for you. It may be worth taking into account that some of the small carriers that operate as part of the larger companies, or at least on that network, as long as they exist and you're getting perks like free Prime or free Hulu or free Netflix, if you add up the cost of what you'd be spending on those other services, you work it in, you look at the taxes and fees, it likely isn't going to be Verizon or AT&T that is the least expensive. Just throwing that out there. Now, if there are other ways where you want to save money, from how to find the cheapest flights to car rentals, to how to lower your utility bill, and a couple of tricks to go up against all of these other people that nickel and dime us all day long, I would be honored to show you. I'd be really happy if you'd subscribe if you are not yet doing that. This is what you can do. Click on my oversized head right here. That will subscribe you to this channel. If you need help turning on your notifications so you know when I go live and when those big deals drop, click here. The last big roundup of deals I did, right over here.